berjanji
mendiri dan memimpin putra-putri negara kita. Ada cerita duka kami tumpahkan setia untuk negara kita, panduan hidup kami semua. Di bidang pembangunan kami tetap bersama, membantu membina negara yang tercinta. Mana yang diberi kami tak persiakan. Apa yang kami janji tunai tetap kami tunaikan.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So my group will continue the presentation with staff and personal development issue. The first topic will be covered is teacher education and licensing. Secondly, teacher appraisal, and followed by teacher welfare and benefit. And lastly, we will cover on teacher workload. Happy watching! Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I hope that everyone are in a good condition. Stay healthy, stay at home with your family. I am Nur Akila binti Rohman, and today I am going to present the first topic under staff and personal development, which is teacher education and licensing. Let's get snack and happy watching. Before we go further, let's discover what means by teacher education and licensing. According to an article entitled Requirement to be a Teacher, teacher education is a vital and admirable career that comes with accountability towards student achievements, student interests, student behavior, and many other things. Before become a teacher, there are so many skills and knowledge needed to be prepared. What is teacher licensing? Teacher licensing is known as teacher certification, including the process which prospective educator get a license to teach students after they completing the task, coursework, and degrees in specified area. In simple word, it is just like having a license to drive a car. You go to driving school, you learn how to drive a car, and then you're taking tests to make sure that you can drive safely in the road. Teacher, it same goes like teacher. They also need license to teach student. Okay, everyone, do you wonder what is requirement to be a teacher? In Malaysia, there are two ways to become a teacher. The first one is from SPM. You enter IPG, and then after you finish your study, you go to SK. This is the among of the easiest way to become a teacher. SPM school leavers who obtain excellent result 4 or 5A above may apply admission to IPG, which is Institut Perguruan Malaysia, that we known as Maktab Perguruan. Then they will have 1 year preparation and 4 additional years for bachelor education, which is Ijazah Sarjana Perguruan, Ijazah Sarjana Muda Pendidikan. Then they will serve as teacher at primary school. For secondary school teacher, from SPM, you take diploma or matriculation or foundation or STPM, and then you become a teacher and at secondary school. This pathway is exactly for one who already have diploma or matriculation or foundation or STPM certification, and then apply to university that have education program, and you need 4 additional years to complete this level, like what we have done right now. I am from diploma, and then I pursue to degree, and inshallah all of us will become teacher in secondary school. Dear fellow friends, I continue the presentation with issue in teacher education and licensing. There are four main issues that I highlighted. The issues are teaching out of the field, short duration of training programs, lack of dedication on teaching profession, and lastly, the issue on teacher qualification. Let's talk about the first one. Dear fellow friends, let's talk about the first issue. In schools, teachers need to be adequately qualified to teach students. However, nowadays, teachers need to teach out of their field of expert. This is because Malaysia has an issue on shortage qualified teacher in certain field. This kind of issue may lead to another issue, which is if an adequately qualified teacher teach students, there may be effect on student achievement, student behavior, student knowledge, misunderstanding among students, and teacher itself will lack of knowledge, skill to teach students out of their field of expert. As an example, I have a friend who graduated from education program and become a teacher in secondary school. Her major field of expert is physical health, but when she go to the school, she need to teach science subject. It is quite hard for her because her major of field of expert is physical health. Imagine that we as a becoming science teacher also have many difficulties on teaching science. How about she? This is obviously an issue to the teacher education and licensing. Now, let's continue with the second issue. The second issue is short duration of training program. Normally, the duration of practicum will be within 3 to 5 months. It is quite short for a trainee teacher to adapt with school surrounding, school system, student behavior, and many other things. The short term will cause the trainee teacher lack of knowledge, lack of skills in order to handle students, to adapt with the system, to adapt with the school management, and many other things. The purpose of practicum is to make sure that trainee teacher gain knowledge, gain experience, and sharpen the skill to teach students in future. However, can we do all the things within the time given? The answer is yes. However, it is not effective and enough time to prepare for the future. We need many time to adapt with the system, government system, education system, even the schools. The school management also, we need more time to adapt with all those things. Dear fellow friends, let's move to the third issue regarding teacher education and licensing. The next issue would be lack of dedication towards teaching profession. How can this become an issue? To become a teacher, we need to love our profession first before we teach students in school. When we become a teacher, we need to carry as much responsibility at school. For example, student problem and other things. This is why we need to love our profession first before teaching students with full of heart. However, many people tend to become a teacher because they doesn't get job after graduating from university. So, they take a decision to become a teacher. As in Malaysia, you also can become a teacher without qualification from education program. This is a big issue that can be seen in teacher education and licensing. People putting this profession as their last choice if they doesn't get any job. This is why they lack of dedication towards teaching profession. They only become a teacher because they want salary. They want to be the one who have job, and that's why they lack of dedication towards this kind of profession. Lastly, the issue on teacher education and licensing is teacher qualification. As I mentioned earlier, in Malaysia, you can become a teacher even though you doesn't have qualification from education program. One of the ways is for those who already have degree but not in teaching field, they can apply to DPLI course, which is Diploma Perguruan Lepasan Ijazah, to become a teacher. When teacher doesn't have qualification in education program, they will have problem, which is their lack of skills and knowledge to teach student. Can you imagine? Even lesson plan, we need 4 years to learn. How about them? How they want to teach students in schools without skills, without knowledge? They may have the knowledge, but how about the skills? Because to teach students, we need many skills in terms of teaching method, how to attract student interest, how to increase student achievement, and many other things. We learn for 4 years, but they doesn't have qualification on that kind of things. It is an issue, right? Education in Malaysia needs good quality of teacher to produce a good quality of student. That is all what we need in Malaysia to make sure that our education become at a Singapore education level.
Hello, my wonderful class. Last night I wondered where all of you were, but then I remembered you're not really my children. Why don't we pull out our workbooks that we work on every day? Brad, can you tell me the answer to number 1 on page 24?
No, you mean to turn our notebooks into origami.
What you just watched is a scene from a comedy series entitled Teachers, where it shows the situation on how the teacher's appraisal or the teacher's evaluation takes place in a classroom. I am Nurin Nada binti Mustafa, and today I will discuss on issues of the teacher's appraisal. So let's start. Firstly, what is teacher's appraisal? Teacher's appraisal is ongoing process used for identifying, measuring, and developing an individual's performance in accordance with an organization's strategic goals. There are 2 main issues in teacher's appraisal. The first one is school's evaluation, and the second one is students' feedback. Now, we will see the school's evaluation first. Every organization has an objective towards optimum performance, and employees are the key drivers in achieving that. It is necessary for the employees' performance to reach the optimality for the success of an organization, including learning institutions. Teachers' appraisal can help teachers and also schools to achieve their goals and objectives. Even though there is many benefits that we can get from the teacher's appraisal, there is still some issues raised. The first issue is teachers are not being evaluated on teaching and learning only. The core business of teachers is teaching. Therefore, the appraisal of teachers must look into their job specification, which is teaching and learning. It becomes an issue when the appraisal process also look into another aspects, such as the success of students' academic. In this matter, the premier and residential schools teacher would benefit greatly from the students' evaluations because their students are academically inclined to achieve success in examinations. A student's academic success cannot be solely attributed to particular teacher, and therefore it is a poor gauge to assess teachers. Besides, assessing teachers by making teachers sit for competency examinations as in the past will result in teachers becoming bookworms, and those who are proficient in writing skills will score and do well in the written examinations. Memorizing facts and statistics on the general order or perintah am and teaching theories and principles in the test scores do not make a good teacher. A teacher should be assessed solely based on his performance in the classroom. The second issue is giving teachers prior notice before the observations or appraisals. Teaching should be the ultimate criterion to determine the teacher's performance index. Each and every lesson of the teacher should be used as a gauge to measure the performance index of the teachers. Classroom observations of a teacher's lesson by the head teacher, senior assistants, and subject panel can have its pros and cons. If the teacher is informed of the observation earlier, the teacher will prepare a wonderful lesson to showcase to the observers. An impromptu observation can result in authentic and genuine evaluation of a teacher who is hardworking. Giving teacher prior notice before observation would not reflect the real scenario. It will be an exercise in futility for the teachers who put on a show for the assessment exercise. It will be a facade. The head teacher, the senior assistants, and also the subject panel heads can observe the teacher randomly as many times as possible without giving prior notice and observe the effectiveness of the teaching and learning experience in the classroom. Teachers should be prepared for observation without notice. They need to plan before they walk into a classroom. A teacher who fails to plan plans to fail in the classroom. For a balanced and transparent evaluation of teachers, all classrooms should be equipped with a CCTV, which would record the teaching and learning mode in the classroom. CCTVs in classroom would not only raise the standard of teaching and learning to a higher level but also solve a lot of disciplinary problems. The third issue is bias towards the teachers. Bias is simply a personality-based tendency either toward or against something. In the case of teacher appraisal, bias is toward or against individual teacher. Bias make the appraisal process subjective rather than objective, and they certainly provide the opportunity for a lack of consistency in effect on different groups of teachers. So, to overcome this problem, the person who in charge to appraise teachers need to be objective and not let his feelings of liking or disliking an individual influence the appraisal of the teachers. It is important that the appraisal system is transparent, fair, and based on the merit that ensures only the deserving with the highest skills and knowledge are given good appraisals. The Integrated Assessment of Education Service Officer PBPPP been approved to replace a once-a-year Laporan Prestasi Tahunan LNPT. The implementation of PBPPP is required in promotion and career development. The implementation of performance appraisal should be done as accurately and fairly as possible because it will affect the assessment in decision-making related to the promotion, determination of training, and also workers' salary. The teacher appraisal is necessary to determine the competency of teachers for promotion and upgrading exercise to a better pay scale. It is a form of incentive and reward to a hard-working teacher who display excellence and also dedication in their job. The first issue of the students' feedback is halo effect among students toward teachers. The halo effect occurs when a person has an overly positive view of a particular teacher. This can impact the objectivity of reviews, with students consistently giving their teachers higher ratings and failing to recognize areas for improvement. In education, we can see these kind of scenarios like seniors and junior students rate the teachers more positively compared to sophomores and freshman students. This is because they already know the teachers as they have experience learning with them in a previous year. The second one is students with higher marks tend to rate their teachers higher. This is because they feel like the teachers are helping them in getting good marks, so they help the teachers back by giving the teachers only a positive feedback. The next one is teachers who are considered to be attractive are rated higher. When the teachers are viewed as warm and friendly, students will rate them higher compared to less favorable teachers. It's surely nice to receive good feedbacks and compliments, but this act will eventually give disadvantages to the teachers themselves. Next is dishonesty in giving feedback. Some of the students do not find feedback is important. Due to this, they do not take serious in giving and answering the feedback. Some of them also are scared with the teachers. So that is why they tend to write only positive feedback because they do not want the teacher to get angry with them. Most of us have experienced these kind of scenarios during our practicum, right? When you are asking your students to write you a feedback, they will only give you a positive feedback. You yourself know that you are lacking in something, but you do not know what is it. The positive feedback that you receive do not help you to improve yourself. Teachers will end up repeating the same mistakes all over again. This will actually affect their performance in teaching the students. All of these issues need to be solved as soon as possible so that the performance of the teachers can be improved. Teachers' appraisal gives both benefits and disadvantages to the teachers.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nurhamizah binti Sadiman. In this topic, I will discover for staff welfare and benefit. The content in my part is about first, teacher exchange issue, second, financial issue, and the last is security issue. Okay? First, we go to for the teacher exchange issue. The issue on 2018, a female teacher from Sekolah Kebangsaan SK Genting Balik Pulau, Nur Farhana Ibrahim, 27 years old, who was reported missing 4 days ago. According to her family statement, she suffered of depression because she had to commute for 200 kilometers every day from home to the school. As usual principle used by the Malaysian Ministry of Education (MOE) in implement the process of teacher placement and exchange are based on 3 characteristics, which is the access of teacher, lack of teacher filling in the position, and the need for teacher option in a state. Then, to increase the effectiveness of management, the MOE has made specific special case for the teacher that given the consideration include 3 types also, which is MOE offer to couple who are far apart, which is like the case of Nurul Farhana just now. And then second, chronic pain case. It is for teacher itself or their partner, children or their parents. In this case, MOE will offer for the place in a state or the country that have vacancies and have appropriate medical facilities. Okay, and for the last, number 3 is security threat for the teacher itself or their partner. I give the example that teacher get death threat or other harassment. It will can make the exchange. But we have to know that the MOE will not conduct from the teacher itself. For example, teacher made alone or have distraction by the group ahlong. Okay. So from this, teacher exchange issue, the teacher can access an application through the online, which is EG2K platform. This application is only open for 3 times a year. The operation is carried out in month of January, April and September. The topic for number 2 is financial issue. The issue is staff allowance are not worth it with their duty. Congress of Union of Employees in the Public Service, QPEX, its president Aziz Musa also suggested that the government review the allowance given the principal, senior assistant, discipline teacher and hostel warden appropriate to their role and workload in the school.
Seterusnya, cadangan allowance tambahan untuk sara hidup bagi guru di kawasan kritikal Johor dan Selangor kini diperhalusi. Menteri Pendidikan Dr. Mazli Malik berharap ia dapat direalisasikan bagi menyelesaikan masalah kekurangan guru di kawasan bandar besar.
Itu sedang dipertimbangkan. Memang bukan memang ada. Itu sekarang memang kita sedang membuat cadangan. Tapi masih di peringkat cadangan lagi lah. Cuma memang saya sendiri saya inginkan perkara itu berlaku.
The benefit from the financial issue is increase the living allowance sekolah for the civil servant to RM50 per month. Next, sekolah allowance could be given to federal civil servant grade 48 and below. And then, school warden grade of DG44 was given a permanent housing allowance ITP amounting to RM400 and their COLA allowance was not deducted. For the last point is the security issue. The issue is teacher accident while taking student out of school. Generally, as we know, there are a lot of extracurricular activity but lack of the facilities such as school bus or driver, so that it is a reason why teachers use their own vehicle to send their student for outdoor activity. But teacher itself must follow the condition to bring student go out from the school is to have a letter permission from their parent and inform the school to ensure the guaranteed safety of teacher and their student. So from this issue, the Malaysian Ministry of Education has reviewed the enhancement of teacher safety according to the standard operational procedure was teacher insurance coverage at the full expense of the government.
Kementerian Pendidikan mahu menyemak semula prosedur operasi standard (SOP) dan semua perkeliling berkaitan tugasan guru di luar sekolah susulan kemalangan maut membabitkan 3 pelajar di Kota Tinggi hari ini. Menterinya, Dr. Mazli Malik, berkata beliau sudah meminta Ketua Pengarah Pelajaran, Datuk Dr. Amin Senin supaya menyemak semula SOP dan perkeliling berkaitan mengenai perkara berkenaan. Saya tidak mahu lagi kes-kes seperti ini menganiaya guru-guru yang terbabit. Kebajikan mereka ialah perkara yang mesti diutamakan dan sangat penting dalam membentuk ekosistem pendidikan yang baik, katanya menerusi hantaran di Facebook, FB, beliau semalam. Mazli berkata, beliau juga sudah meminta Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri, JPN, Johor dan Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah, PPD, Kota Tinggi membantu memudahkan urusan berkaitan tuntutan dan yuran guaman kepada guru yang terbabit dalam kemalangan berkenaan sekiranya perlu. Beliau berkata, ia amat penting kerana guru berkenaan sedang menjalankan tugas mengikut prosedur dan tanggungjawabnya ketika kemalangan yang menyedihkan itu berlaku.
Last but not least, just to share some information that for us like teacher to be, actually there are one organisation that take care of the teacher welfare, which is Yayasan Guru Malaysia Berhad. This YGMB was created for the first time in the history of the country education, and it is acts as a main role for educator, ensuring educator welfare is always protected and to enhance the teaching profession in producing quality. This is the Yayasan Guru Malaysia Berhad portal. YGMB is very good platform or organization for every teacher because for the lifelong welfare benefit, for example, benefit in death, which is khairat kematian, intensive education, register, hospital treatment, retirement gift, and for example, like now issue, the organisation also cover for the patient positive COVID-19. Later, you guys can check out the website or page of Yayasan Guru Malaysia Berhad and look for the detail. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nur Nazira Amira binti Asri Kamal. Is going to present about staff and personnel issues on teachers' workload. School curricular and co-curriculum reforms has dragged teachers to face many challenging tasks. Due to that, many teachers feel burdened with the non-stop work they receive even during holidays. According to Chan and Spector 1992, teachers' workload are all the tasks that need to be performed, whether related to teaching and learning or outside the scope of teaching and learning. There are two types of teachers' workload. The first one is academic workload and another one is non-academic workload. The example of academics workload is something that related to teaching management or preparing student tests and examination. An example for non-academic workload is students' welfare, and another one is school administrative management. As you can see around me are some newspaper headlines that are related to the teachers' workload. So, what are the causes of these issues on teachers' workload to be highly debated now? The first cause of teachers' workload is the insufficient amount of workers in the school office. According to Dato' Azam Muhammad Atan 2010, the President of the National Conference of School Principals Malaysia, the amount of teachers' workload increases due to the insufficient number of clerks in school. Teachers have to manage and enter data on various forms such as the textbooks loan, scholarship form, and also students' profile. For example, a school in Rembau Negeri Sembilan has only 4 clerks to manage 480 students' file. This number is not enough and need to be added at least 2 more to enable all clerical work to be done by the school office staff. Can you imagine what are the number of clerks that needed in a school that has more than 480 students? Next, weakness of the administrative system. The problem of teachers' burden also stems from the confusion and weaknesses in administration and coordination at all levels of the school administration. Many teachers in the same school has to attend courses simultaneously outside the area of the school. As a result, of course, time management that is not conducted in organized manner. This situation causes the abandoned tasks to be shouldered by other teachers who are still in school while they already have work to be completed. The last cause is changes in the government policy. Government policy changes also increase the workload of teachers. This is because teachers are the implementing body of government policy. The change in the Integrated Primary School Curriculum KBSR to the Primary School Standard Curriculum KSSR has caused teachers to attend courses organized by the Ministry of Education to realize the government's aspiration. Whenever the curriculum and system changes, teachers need to follow and ensure it is successful. So now, we are going to talk about the impact of teachers' workload. The first one is teachers' workload will reduce the performance of a teacher. When the performance of a teacher is reduced, it may affect to the students' academic performance to be worsened. Other than that, teachers' workload also cause pressure or stress on the teacher. Due to this reason, some teachers also choose for early retirement, and what worse is resignation. So now, I am going to share some tips on managing workload. The first one is always has a cut-off point for when you need to finish your work. Do not overwork. When it is time to eat or to rest, get some rest and take your meal. The second one is get support from colleagues. You are not alone and don't be afraid to ask for help when needed. The third one is look after yourself. Plan in time for self-care. Go watch Netflix or meeting a friend or even having a bath. The fourth one is work smarter and more efficiently. Do something that helps you to get your work done. If you are more efficient working early in the morning, then start doing your work in the morning. Or if you love to listen to the music while completing your work, tune in your favorite jam and enjoy your work. Last but not least, prioritize, organize, and categorize your work. Prioritize your work that are urgent and need to be submitted first and later accordingly. Take note about the deadlines of every work, and most importantly, do not procrastinate, because procrastination is a thief of time. So, that is all from my team and I. Thank you for listening to our presentations until the end. Your time spent is much appreciated. Don't forget to answer our questions on the website link and join the discussion on Google Classroom. Thank you.